Hey guys, today we're talking with Garr, one of my personal friends and an absolute elite aim artist on games like Fortnite, Valorant, and basically everything else. The dude can hit somebody's head from 1,000 meters away, and he's proven that to me at least a dozen billion times. He can also pick out llamas like nobody in the entire world, and I'm super excited to share a conversation with him today, with you and with him. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it. My dude, Garwood, what's up, my man?
What's up, Punk? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah.
The work from home stuff has been really good. I mean, it's no big change for you, right?
Nah, all the same. I mean, it's a little different 'cause, like my roommates are working from home, but
Right.
no change for me. I like working from home.
Well,
Some people don't, but
you
I like it.
moved to LA just before COVID, right?
Yeah, so I moved there, try to pursue like one last hurrah, like Fortnite on good internet, good ping. Play
Right.
with some homies. It was a really good opportunity that I didn't want to pass up just because of how cheap it was. Normally, LA is really expensive, but
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I was out there for that for about 6 months, and then COVID hit, like, right before, like, our lease was up, so it was
It's like perfect
not the
timing.
greatest timing,
Shoom.
but also perfect timing at the same time.
Gotta get out of there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, LA was a hub as well, and I was planning on traveling back and forth from LA quite a bit, and yeah, I mean, it got to this point where it was just infeasible, really, and it's so short. It's like 2 hour
Yeah,
flight, I
yeah.
think, but I mean, I guess it was perfect timing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was unlucky to have to, like, find a new spot to, like, live during all that
Yeah.
because I couldn't go back with my parents even temporarily because 'cause they're older and immunocompromised, so I didn't wanna risk that. Fortunately, one of my good buddies, like, gave me a place to stay for the time being, so
You drove, right? If I remember
yeah.
correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if I remember correctly, you're in Utah, so
Yep.
that's a quite a long drive, right?
It's like 10 hours, but I've done it so many times in my life. It's just like
I feel
quick
that.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Australia, but the states are so far away from each other that, I mean, just Adelaide to Melbourne is 8 hour drives, and then everything else is double or triple that. So Perth is like a
Yeah.
3 day drive, and because my dad used to do it, I guess, I don't know. I grew up thinking about you know these super long drives. I actually miss being able to drive that far. Like in Vancouver, everything's so close.
Yeah, I enjoy driving, man.
Yeah. You got one of
Yeah.
those electric cars, or no? You changed now, right? You got a different
No,
car.
yeah, I have a Subaru. Yeah, I'm in a Subaru now.
That's
Forester.
right, dude. I actually want one of those little Priuses. I've been thinking.
I wish I could afford it, man. I mean, they're cheap, but like the initial cost, I guess, is expensive. And if the battery goes out, it's like
Yeah.
6 grand just to replace the battery.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive, but I mean, as the technology progresses, it's only gonna get cheaper. So
I
I'm
mean,
sure
but
I'll find myself one
that's
eventually.
what they use for like taxis and everything, right? Like,
I don't know. No
yeah,
idea.
yeah. I mean, or at least in Vancouver, all the taxis are those cars, and yeah, like taxis, all the Ubers, everything's like
Oh yeah, if I was driving Uber, I would probably use one of those for sure.
just because it's way cheaper.
Way cheaper on gas, yeah. I mean, obviously no gas, but
Yeah.
hybrid.
I see you drinking out of a Tim Hortons cup.
Yeah, I got roasted for it on Twitter because it just says Tim, so people thought it was like bootleg.
Oh, is it bootleg?
I don't know. It's my roommates.
Did he get it from Canada?
I don't know. I'll ask, but it's like really high quality. I
Yeah,
guess since it
it
doesn't
looks
say
good.
Tim Hortons, it just says Tim's. I don't know, man. People just like roasting me.
For a cup? Speaking of roasting, there's quite a bit of that going around at the moment. Everybody seems to be at each other's throats, and I sort of been. I know you always have kind of avoided drama just as a whole, but you know, especially since I started working from home, and now having the ability to basically have social media up 100% of the time,
Oh yeah, I didn't
I've
even think about
just,
that.
I've just honestly started to completely coil back from it.
Damn,
Um,
I didn't even think about that. Just because like I said, I work from home for so long, like even before streaming, like doing
yeah.
freelance photography and stuff like that. for all these people who are like new to it, I guess that's like a whole other thing, having social media up all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like 100% of the time, you've got this influence that is, I would say, probably mostly negative.
Yeah,
So
depends who you follow, but there's definitely a lot of negative stuff going on right now. It's pretty wild.
yeah, yeah, especially in America, right? What's it like where you're at right now?
Oof. It's interesting to say the least. Just leave just leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh man. The thing that I really am missing is just being able to take that drive down to Portland or like take a quick flight to LA and see people like you and Sam and Jake and people all over the country in America. And it used to be so easy. Like the year before COVID, I traveled to like 8 different states in the US just to visit people,
Yeah.
and it was so easy. I think the only thing that really ever got to me was the price difference is just so dramatic. Everything is a little bit cheaper, but it's like, I mean, you pay $20 for a steak over here, you pay $20 for a steak over there, but over there it costs a Canadian,
Yeah.
$28 and then tip and then.
Dude, it was so funny. The first time I went to Canada with my friends, we did the conversion online, but we had it flipped, so it was going from Canadian to US.
Oh,
And this was at a time in my life where I was like just like living paycheck to paycheck.
yeah.
So I was like freaking out because I was like, oh damn, everything's 1.25 times more expensive. So we were all just like budgeting, like just trying to make our trip go as far as we could. And like 4 days in, we realized it was the other way around.
Yeah.
And like the dollar was stronger than the Canadian dollar. So like, damn, we're rich, bro.
Yeah, I love that.
Because we saved for like 3 days.
I think if wait, you stay for 3 days for an entire trip? Oh,
No, no,
on the
no.
trip.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were like trying to budget for like the first 3 days. So like the last however many days we had of our trip was just like more money, I guess.
Yeah, I love that. I think that
Good.
would be the only plus of living in America right now.
Yeah,
That conversion
definitely.
rate.
Yeah.
How many times have you been to Canada? And you've been to Vancouver, right?
I haven't been to Vancouver. I've literally just been from like the opposite side of the mountains. So like Alberta, Banff, Jasper, like all of that. But I haven't been past that, like whatever that mountain is. I think it's the Rockies, right? Canadian
Yeah,
Rockies. I
yeah,
haven't been
that's
on the
right.
opposite
Yeah.
side of that. Yeah.
I should know. I live here, right? It's the problem. Like even if you grow up somewhere, people come in that have never been there before, and they generally learn about the facts that nobody really knows about when you live there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I've been to Canada like 3 or 4 times, I want to say.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I hear Utah is beautiful as well, man.
It is, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a little different in terms of like culture, I guess. It's very, very religious. I'm sure you know it's like Mormon capital of the world, but
Yeah,
apart from that, like all of our national parks are insane. They're all like within probably 4 hours of where I live right now.
I might be
Wow.
completely wrong about this, but that's where Yosemite is, right?
No, California.
California. Okay.
Yeah,
Why?
we have Zion's, Arches, Bryce Canyon. There's like 3 or 4, maybe even 5.
Yeah, the one I always remember is Yosemite. I guess
I mean,
I think it's everywhere.
yeah, I mean Yosemite is fucking huge, so I don't blame you.
Have you been there?
I haven't, which is
Oh,
funny because I grew up in California. So
oh, okay, yeah,
yeah,
cool. I didn't know that.
yeah,
Um, so I mean, dude, you've been a professional gamer for some time now.
professional.
I mean, you know what? The way I always attribute things with that word is like this: if you do something full time for more than 40 hours a week, and you live off it, then you are considered a professional at any level. In animation or in TV and film, obviously we have different levels, and it's not quite that cut and clear in gaming, right? You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
you don't have like a senior professional,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
game like
Buzzword title.
exactly. And I think
Yeah,
like people like Ninja would be like a senior professional. Um, maybe Shroud as well. Well, definitely Shroud.
yeah,
Supervising, supervising gaming professional. What do you
yeah.
think? Something like that. But I mean, every game that's come out in the past, I don't know, 5, 10 years, you've been absolutely stomper at, and your aim is just ridiculous. I mean, people think Shroud are good. I've watched you and Shroud at the same time, and you're hitting the same kind of headshots. It's
Damn, bro.
it's absolutely unbelievably how good your aim is. So how did you get it there? Talk me a little bit through that.
Well, I mean, Shroud obviously has genetics, but he has also been playing Counter Strike since he was like 3 years old. I've been gaming since I was like super young, but I didn't jump into shooters until I was like probably 10, 11, something like that.
Yeah.
So I've had to like catch up in terms of like doing Kovacs or just putting in as many hours as possible, like specifically dedicated to aiming, I guess. I don't know. I got to put in the extra hours when people have been gaming since they're like 3 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I I think in this day and age, if you haven't been gaming since you were 3, then,
Yeah. I
like
feel like that's part of the reason why most of the like super high level professionals in like Fortnite, because I did okay. Like I made a decent amount of money. I was okay at the game. But like the crackhead kids, for
yeah,
lack of a better word, like
like
Mongrel,
Booga,
yeah,
Mongrel.
Booga, all of them grew up playing only Fortnite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like maybe they played a game or two before that, but their like peak gaming development was all in Fortnite. So that's the only skill set they have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Something I've been thinking about for a long time is if I ever get the money, I want to create a gaming competition that has 100 different games. Maybe something like that, and see who
That'd be cool.
the best gamer overall. Because people like Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, they would have a legitimate chance of winning those games because they grew up on all these games.
Yeah.
Something like speed running Donkey Kong all the way through, trying to get the best 10 Fortnite matches you could get.
My money would be on Psalm. You know who that is, right?
Psalm. Yeah, yeah. Spelt like Psalm.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, second at Fortnite World Cup. He's on a tear right now in the Valorant scene. Even before that, he was like Diamond in League. He was a pro in Heroes of the Storm, I think, some other MOBA.
Right.
Dude's a gamer.
Yeah.
Like if I had to put money on someone for that competition, it would be Psalm for sure.
Do you still think there's a stigma on gamers, like, being this, ultra untidy dude freaking in his mom's basement playing video games and.
Uh, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I feel like probably, but the only people that hold that stigma still are like people that are relevant in my eyes, like
Yeah,
completely
not
other.
gamers.
Yeah, exactly. Like a completely other subculture, I guess, of humans. I don't know.
The
Just
thing,
like blue collar professionals, I guess. They would probably view gamers like that, but
yeah.
I don't know.
The thing that always surprises me is that the biggest gamers in the world is actually women between the ages of 24 and 45.
Really?
Yeah, and it's mobile games, man.
Oh
And
yeah, true, true, true.
and these are the people that are paying out dudes, playing in their basement, making
Yeah.
making millions of dollars.
So wild. Every time I hear that like statistic about mobile games like dominating,
Yeah.
I don't even think about it because I haven't had a game on my phone in so many years as PC. But I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense. It's so accessible.
PUBG Mobile actually makes up like I don't want to throw out statistics on that I don't know, but PUBG Mobile has more players than PUBG like on PC.
Damn, that's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Imagine. And it's so simple, like for them to create that app. It's like a really downsized version of the full game, but like everything's cheaper and it's actually quite a bit easier to get that paywall into a mobile than it is on PC. Because
Oh, absolutely.
if you're on a PC and you're playing stuff, like if you have a cutscene in front of, when you're playing a game on PC, you're immediately like closed, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But on a mobile, you're just ready for it 100% of the time. So they can just put those pay ads everywhere. They can just absolutely bombard you with that advertisements. So
And the screen real estate is so small, so like you
exactly,
put an ad on the screen, it's the whole screen.
exactly. Did you ever play those it's like Candy Crush and things like that?
Pretty much the only like mobile gaming I did was in high school, just like pastime, like Angry Birds,
Oh yeah,
Temple Run, all the like
yeah.
classic, I guess,
I
games.
mean that's a good example of how big mobile games are. I mean Angry Birds is fucking crazy, like crazy big. You know, they have
Yeah.
they have movies, they have T-shirts, they have all this different merch. You
Even
know,
still, that was like 10 years ago, feels like.
I
And they're
think
still like an enterprise.
I think it is 10 years. When was it? Hang on, let's find out.
I graduated in 2012, and Angry Birds is probably a thing like my junior year. So yeah, probably around 10 years, 9 years, 10 years, something like
December 11th,
that.
2009.
Damn.
11
So more
years
than 10
ago.
years. Yeah.
Well, close to 11 years ago. Does
Yeah.
that make you feel old, girl?
I literally the only thing that makes me feel old is thinking about like how long ago I graduated. Because if every time like I look or I think about it, it feels like it wasn't that long ago. And I look at the calendar, I'm like, damn, bro, I graduated 8 years ago.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't start my career really, like, professional learning until I was like 24, 25. But that's like 10 years ago now. And I'm like, well, I've really been doing this that long, like it's crazy. I mean, when I first started, I never thought that, be doing a departmental leading thing or anything like that. And now, I look back at it and I think if I was just starting out, I'd be like, oh, and now here I'm just like, whatever, you know.
Yeah,
Do you feel the same
definitely.
way about gaming? Like, now you're a seasoned professional,
Mm,
you've lost that.
I still feel like I have a lot to accomplish, man. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. Like streaming has been cool for sure. I've talked about this before. Like I'm super, super grateful for like what streaming has become. But like the only reason I started streaming was to save clips essentially for like montages and things like that.
Yeah.
And like the core of it has always been like gaming. And sure, I enjoy just chatting streams and things like that, art streams, but like I don't know, man. I just like gaming. It's like PvP.
Yeah. I mean, you streamed without a face cam for the longest time. And,
Yeah.
it's kind of a gag slash necessity that every time you hung out with us we would make sure that in some way your face was hidden, right?
Yeah, kind of
uh,
gone back to it. I dusted off the old camera for this podcast, dude.
did you
Last piece,
really?
yeah. I haven't streamed without a cam in like a month again.
Wow, so you're back onto the no cam grind.
Unintentionally. I
Yeah.
just I was messing around with like Apex for a while, which I can't. I only have one PC, so when I stream games like Apex that are super like CPU intensive, I can't have a cam on.
Yeah.
So I would just like go back and forth with that, and then eventually I just like I don't know. Sometimes you just don't like gaming with the camera on, you know?
Yeah, you know what, I don't feel it. I think as a performer and like sort of grew up,
True, yeah.
being on stage, and I sort of got over that fear pretty early. I started singing really young, and I remember my first performance ever was at some talent show. So I'm out there with my guitar, and I think I was like 13, maybe 14, and it was at a pizzeria. So they were having this talent show in a pizzeria, and I've gone out there with my guitar, and slowly throughout my song, which was bad by the way, the microphone started to swing away from me. So I started to try and chase it, and then I'm still playing and I'm chasing it, and then eventually it just like let go and spun all the way around. And
And you did a 360 with it, right?
I wish the other way, or like
Yeah, 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 yeah. Caught it on the other end.
yeah, I just kind of stopped, and somebody like like one of the judges who was sitting basically in a table right in front of me, like come up, grabbed it, put it back, and they're like, "Hey, start again, dude." And I'm like, "I can't. I'm just gonna leave it at that." And I had a good cry, and you know, and then
Yeah.
you go away from experiences like that, and you know, what would you say is your most nervous experience playing as a professional Fortnite player?
It's hard to say because I feel like most people's answer to this would probably be like their first LAN.
Yeah,
So for me, that was TwitchCon, I guess.
yeah,
But I was, like I said at the time, I was more comfortable playing on stage there than like at my own house. So I would say probably like the first online tournament I played. So back in like the Call of Duty game battles days on like Xbox,
yeah.
because back then it's like a pay to enter type like prize pool thing.
Oh
So
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's like early high school days where I didn't have that much money. I put like $10 into like an online tournament things like that. I would probably say that was the most nervous I've been, which in hindsight, it was like
Yeah.
negligible, you know?
Yeah, you could do that. I know a lot
Yeah.
people that make a living off, doing wages and little
Oh, yeah.
competitions like that all the
It's a
time.
huge, huge scene. I never really got into like the wagers. I would just do like search and destroy tournaments, like I said, on game battles, things like that.
Right. Yeah. What's the one? Major League Gaming, I think it's called. Um,
Yeah. Dude, that's like back in the day, I would like watch MLG, like Call of Duty, things like that. I was like, damn, this looks so fun. I almost went one year, like saved up enough money, like got my parents' permission, and then the person I was gonna go with canceled, and I just didn't want to go by myself.
yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think that's probably why TwitchCon felt so comfortable to me, is because like I had this idea in the back of my head of like, damn, I want to do this one day, you know? So it's wild to like actually play at TwitchCon. It
Yeah. So when you finally got there, you were
was like, all right,
just
let's
relaxed.
go. Let's do it.
Yeah, I remember that being, so tight and like everybody's packed in. We got in like we were like the last two people to get in, myself and my wife, and we couldn't see you for the life of us. We couldn't find you, and
It's a weird setup.
it was a weird setup. And we managed to get there's these basically you walk in there's this ring where all the players are, and then seats on the floor around there, and two bleachers right at the back.
Yeah.
So we managed to spot two seats in the bleachers about halfway up, and unfortunately, that's where Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, and their friends and family were supposed to sit. So that's why the seats were empty. We didn't know. So we just sat there and we're just waiting. And next minute, Jamie's like, I think that's gone. So we start screaming and like, obviously you can't hear us. And we're just like,
Oh, I
Uh,
heard screams, but I didn't know who it was for because there were so many people there, you know?
yeah, dude, we were so excited. But we kind of felt like they were not really objective on who they were showing on the screen and things like
Oh, they
that.
never are.
It kind of annoyed me a little bit that not
Eh,
everybody was, you know?
makes sense though, because I mean, on one hand, that's where a lot of like up and comers got their name. Like Aiden,
Yeah,
back in the day, he was nobody, and then he got attention when they would show him like fighting Nick Mercs and like Tilted Towers and things like that.
yeah,
On that hand, I get it, but at the same time, like Twitch Rivals is already like not the best in terms of viewership. So
for sure.
by showing like all the big streamers and things like that, it's a good way to like keep people tuned in, I guess. So I get it. It's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird that I think they should have some type of level system on Twitch, especially. Not for I'm bigger than you or whatever like that. Mainly to like pair people with each other, that are around the same size and can help each other grow. And I think one of the biggest things I've found with Twitch, especially, is that unless you're actively trying to find friends 100% of the time, and you're nothing you do, you're doing nothing but networking 100% of the time, it's really hard to grow your circle.
Oh, for sure.
And once you have a circle, it's really hard to expand out of that circle because you've already dedicated so much time to keeping that circle going. And the moment you let go, I guess, or start to fail at one relationship because of another or whatever, people get really, you know. Do you,
It's a whole other thing, man.
yeah, do you find that in the gaming scene as well? Like, if you're playing with somebody, if you got a new teammate.
See, that's the thing is, like I said, I'm super fortunate that my stream has grown the way it has
Yeah,
because I'm terrible at marketing, bro. I
I
hate
feel
that
the
shit.
same. Yeah,
Yeah. So like, fortunately, I have people like Jake who have like, you know, put people onto my stream, and like Jake is a person that linked me and Jonah up. So pretty much every relationship that I have on Twitch and like in gaming is just super organic, which is I think the best way to do it.
yeah,
But like Loft Jeezy, I met through another homie from gaming. Like I said, everyone, it's just like it's all organic, which I think is the best way to do it. Unfortunately, that's not the best way to grow a stream if that's what you're actually trying to pursue.
yeah.
So I don't know.
What would you say would be the best way to grow a stream for those, young streamers out there that are looking to grow their stream?
See, I used to like not really have an answer to that. Used to be like a canned answer, like just stream consistently, which I think is still like very important, obviously. But
Yeah,
now I use a buddy of mine, Legend Daily. I don't know if you know of him, but
yeah,
he, oh, let's say like 6 or 7 months ago. I don't know the exact date, but he used to have like, I don't know, 5 to 15 average viewers, right?
Yep.
And then he started posting on TikTok, which I mean is not my favorite platform, but if you're trying to grow, it's super explosive right now. Started posting on there consistently, blew up on TikTok, and since then has like started converting TikTok followers into Twitch viewers, obviously.
Yeah.
And in the last like 2 weeks, he's gotten partnered. So from 15 viewers to like 200 average viewers. He's gotten partnered, signed to Luminosity Gaming, super top tier org, and partnered with G Fuel in like 2 weeks, which is insane. So like if
Congratulations to
you're,
him. That's
yeah, I
incredible.
know he's insane. I'm not like super good friends with him, but it's been definitely like cool to watch his story.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to grow, I'd definitely utilize different social media platforms because the discoverability on Twitch has always been subpar in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's
Uh,
pretty terrible.
oh yeah,
They have done this recommended thing down the bottom, which is okay, I guess, but
small step.
very small step. I've always considered that when somebody big goes offline, I think everybody should be sent to a random channel, or you should have the ability to spread your viewers out. Um, like
That's why I like Tim. He almost always hosts someone random. I feel like.
Yeah, so the way Tim does it is he has Tim Tatman Army. And basically his host he'll always randomly host somebody from that. So
Oh,
if
okay.
if you ever want to be hosted by Tim or or anything like that, all you have to do is apply to his army as long as you're a reasonable human being, and aren't abusing animals or showing your tatas. Generally you get accepted.
Damn, bro, I'm not gonna get accepted.
Yeah. Well, shit. All that twerking you do, man. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, as long as you're a good person, non-racist, non-abusive, don't swear too much, um, all those things apply, and I think they have a really good filter on who and who shouldn't. And then basically, you just apply to that team, you get on the team, and then randomly get hosted. But here's the thing. Just when I was about to get partnered, or at least when I was applying for partner and I met the requirements successfully on my own, Tim hosted me, and that it came back in 2 weeks with a denial because of that host. So
Yep.
it can be a bad thing. And I think my original loss there was definitely because of that host. So, and I can tell you honestly, I did not gain anything from a Tim the Tatman host. Um, it's not like you think it is. It's great to be in front of that audience, but I can tell you honestly, I would say 99.9% of the audience leaves. And then maybe 100 people will be like, all right, I'm going to follow this guy. Probably more like 50. 50 people, throw out a follow as in, just being nice or whatever.
Yeah.
And then maybe 5 people talk. So, it's
That's why I
different.
say networking organically is like way
Oh,
more
yeah.
crucial.
Huge. Because
Yeah.
people get the best way I think, to grow something is to throw your community into somebody you believe in. You can't believe in somebody unless you know them,
Yeah.
So
For sure.
it's always easier, and it trickles down, right? You've got really big streamers that promote their smaller friends, and then those friends they promote their smaller friends, and it trickles down, right? We just need to open up that floodgate a bit more,
Like I say, I think the Twitch has done a lot of like really good things in the last year in terms of changes to the platform, in my opinion. We've also done a lot of shitty things, but that aside, I think the like most important change they need to make is discoverability, which, like you said, they've done small incremental changes to, but I feel like if the discoverability on Twitch was where it should be, like the way Spotify's
Oh
algorithm
yeah,
works in
dude,
terms of like
so good.
recommending things, dude, Twitch would be even bigger than it already is.
I feel like it's way easier to write an algorithm that puts music similar to
Oh
other
yeah,
music
yeah,
than it does to have Twitch streams, because I think at the end of the day they've still got that human level wall between knowing what a streamer's like,
yeah, yeah,
and
definitely,
putting them into some kind of pigeonhole.
yeah.
And I think generally people don't want to be pigeonholed. I mean, I certainly don't. I do so many different things with my life. To say that I'm a gamer would be an understatement. Like not just a gamer. I feel like you're the same as well. It's, you know, talking to you outside of gaming, you're a very in-depth person with so many avenues that are interesting about you. Speaking of which, you're also an avid photographer, an incredible photographer. Tell me a little
Thanks,
bit
man.
about the journey between doing that and how much time that takes out of gaming.
Yeah, it's very odd, I guess, because on one hand, I don't like leaving my house. I just like playing video games.
Right.
But this, but at the same time, I would consider myself not only an avid photographer, but like avid outdoorsman, I guess.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in the mountains, climbing peaks and camping, fly fishing, things like that. So that's where I picked up photography, I guess. I mean, before that, I would like film my skateboarding friends growing up and shit like that. And then that kind of transitioned into like outdoor photography, landscapes, things like that. And pretty much anywhere I go, I just bring a camera with me now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, every time I've seen you, you've had a camera on you. Actually,
Yeah, even still.
the first time I actually saw your face, I mean, I'd known you for probably a couple of months at the time, and you were like, I think it was either Sam or Jonah. You sent a photo to, and then I was like, dude, you have to send me this photo. Come on. And you're like, nah, nah, nah. And then I was like, I was like devastated. I was like, all right, I guess I won't know. Yeah, I can't remember who it was in the conversation, but we were in a group conversation, and they were like,
Like a Snapchat or something?
I think it was a Discord call.
Oh, okay, okay.
I have this weird memory of it, but yeah, you know, and I was like, I was devoed. Do you know what you know what devoed means, right? Devastated.
Devastated? Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah, and then you sent it to me, and I'm just like, and it's just it was just the perfect way to introduce you to me because you were exactly the way I thought. Because you have this silky smooth voice that everybody is just in love with, right?
It's the microphone, bro. AT2020.
Yeah. So, have you ever had any weird requests like that, you know, for ASMR or, I mean, obviously
Oh,
we all,
yeah, even more so when I didn't have a camera, obviously, but
yeah,
every now and again I get it. I made an emote of it because it's just a meme at one point.
yeah. I mean, obviously we all joke about it, but I mean, seriously, it's a comforting voice, you know?
I don't know, man. I just like I like ASMR is one of those things where like I have the whatever it is where you like get head tingles, but there's a very fine line between like people who actually watch ASMR for like what it is versus like it being over sexualized, I guess. So I don't know, it's just weird to me.
I actually think it's a very small percentage that over sexualizes ASMR, right?
Really?
I
I feel
think
like
so.
a couple of times where I've like stumbled across an ASMR video on YouTube, the comments on it are just like it's just a cesspool of weirdos, dude.
I
I mean,
think,
maybe that's just the vocal minority, but
you know what? I think here's the thing. Number one, actually, I'm going to give you three reasons. Punk's three reasons for why all comments are creepy. Number one, all comments on all videos are majority some creepy kid just trying to get a laugh, right? Especially on ASMR. So they're targeting videos where they can say, you know, stupid shit. Number two, I think the majority of the people that enjoy ASMR are silent. You know, they just put it on to go to sleep. They're not there to comment. They're there to listen to ASMR. And number three, I really didn't think this far ahead and shit. Try to think of it on the fly. But yeah, I mean, I listen to ASMR like, you know,
yeah,
to sleep or if have really bad anxiety. Um, you know, I use a CBD
CBD oil, yeah.
CBD oil for anxiety, and never in my life have I had anything better than CBD oil and a little bit of ASMR. So, I mean, you should try it, man. Listening to your stream at night, man, when you streamed at night, it was great.
Yeah, people love the Minecraft streams because that in itself is
So
like
chill.
ASMR sounds, shit like that.
Yeah, and it's just so chill, man. It's, you know,
I guess I technically do ASMR, but without the like weird fucking,
the scratchy,
the
yeah,
scratches and shit like that. I'd probably do a podcast before I do ASMR. I don't know.
an ASMR podcast. Welcome to the ASMR. Wait, I got this. I got it. I can do this. Welcome to the ASMR. Gar. Wait, ASMR. Fuck. I can do it. Welcome to the ASMR. I can't do it.
See,
Yeah,
like that's the thing. I can't bring myself to like whisper into my mic. Like I'll do it sometimes as a meme, but I don't know.
but I don't think you need to. I think just you talking normally is pretty, so relaxing. And I think there's a lot of people out there that just like general talking and stuff like that.
True.
Add some
Maybe one day.
tapping and clicking. I don't know how they do this stuff.
They have like special mics that have like 3D audio on it. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, the ones with the ears on it, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I know that
It's like bi-directional.
that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
bi-directional. And the Yeti mics have the 3D sound as well because they have two microphones that they point like this,
Yeah.
and the Zoom mics as well, which are pretty good. It's just weird to see those Zoom mics being used for ASMR because in the film industry, those Zoom mics are what all the producers carry around with them. So
Hmm.
whenever they're trying to remember something that a director says, they're like, and
Yeah.
every time they pull one out, I'm like, you gonna do ASMR with that, bro?
About to whisper in my ear. What's up, bro?
So you're a coffee addict as well. You were the first person to get me into French press. I'd never used a French press before.
Speaking
And
of, I need a refill.
and since then, we got an espresso maker.
Nice.
But the difference in coffee between Canada and America, it surprises me to see you drinking out of a Tim's cup.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, Tim's is probably better than Starbucks.
Oh yeah.
It's probably a unpopular opinion, but I was talking
Starbucks
to
always
Loft
tastes
about
like
it.
it's got some type of sugar in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's sugar with coffee, not the other way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I do. It tastes like they've got this caramel syrup they put in shit. It tastes like that's in it 100% of the time.
Which, if that's what you want, that's fine. But normally, I drink my coffee black, so I like the roast itself to be tasty.
Have you ever done one of those it looks like a laboratory experiment where it like drips down through a bunch of
Oh, I've seen like videos of it, but I've never had it before.
should try it, man. There's a couple of places in Vancouver that do it. It's super pretentious, so when you
Yeah, I
walk
was
in
gonna say
when you walk in there, you got to be like, "Oh, hi. May I please have so and so drip mocha latte, please?" And they're like,
throw on the one dress shirt I own.
"Same." I uh I actually made an effort to not have shots like this one a while ago because I had 52 tops that were just like anime shirts or like Dragon Ball
What's
Z
wrong with
stuff.
that, bro?
I don't know. When you're working in a professional environment and don't have any kind of
Yeah, but you work from
playing.
home now, so you're good, bro.
Yeah, I'm good. Now I can build my collection again. Do you watch anime?
Uh, Studio Ghibli, that's about it.
Right, okay.
I mean, I watched Dragon Ball Z growing up and like Avatar, but nothing deeper than like super surface level anime, I guess.
I mean, Avatar's not super surface. I mean, that's pretty. It can get. There's a lot of episodes, right? So,
I just mean in terms of like it's like mainstream, I guess, anime. It's
right.
like all the Studio Ghibli films, which I mean, for good reason. It's like super well done.
Yeah.
Not just as an anime, but like as a film and cinematography and everything is really good in Studio Ghibli movies, which is why I like them.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about? I mean, you said you used to make skateboarding films. Have you ever thought about doing cinematography and filming? Like making your own movie, short, something like that.
Yeah, it took like 3 years of TV video production in high school, and then I was gonna major in digital media when I was in college. I only did one semester, but so yeah, I mean, I definitely have expertise with like editing and filming things like that,
Right.
but I just use that skill set for editing gaming videos currently. Maybe some point in my life I'll do something more serious with it, but
I mean, your edits are insane. Definitely some of the most clean editing I've seen, and always great music. You write all the music yourself, right?
imagine. No, I don't.
No, you do a lot though, right? You do create music as well, and
Yeah, that's just like a hobby. Music is like I have a lot of hobbies, but music is one of those that's just like will probably always be a hobby.
yeah,
Like gaming is like kind of my income right now, streaming things like that. But music is just like one of those things that's I don't have to rely on for income. I can literally just make music for fun whenever, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Which is how it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I flipped that. I was trying to do music for as long as I possibly could, and I realized that
It's really hard, man.
it's impossible. It really is.
Yeah.
And I say impossible in a light way, but unless you're willing to do something for free, then making a living for something is very very hard. Um, you know, and I think that should change. I know that jobs are changing overall. As AI takes over more and more people's jobs, I think creativity is going to be the number one breeder of jobs coming into the next decade. So the hope is that more and more people can make a living from music and, creating content, really.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we see new content creators every single day. Some good, some bad. Some blow up for the right reasons, some blow up for the wrong reasons. But yeah, yeah. I mean, but people are desperate for content. You could see that when, you know, people do blow up the way they do. Like you said, your
Yeah.
friend in 2 weeks,
Yeah, yeah.
TikTok's huge. Didn't TikTok have some thing where they got banned or?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw, like I said, I tried to stay as informed as possible without being overloaded.
Yeah.
So most of that is just like if I read a headline that's like kind of interesting, but I don't really want to dive into it, I'll just like read the headline and skim over it. So that was one of those where I just saw the headline where they had like some court case of something, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know whatever happened with that.
My understanding is that the company is a Chinese hack that wants American people's information.
I feel like I hear that more and more. People were saying the same thing about Valorant's like anti-cheat or some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to talk to you about that as well. I mean, Valorant itself has one of the most invasive anti-cheat softwares that literally can, unless you uninstall the entire game, it's always running on your computer. As somebody who works in, IT myself and with computers all the time, I can't have that software on my computer. Literally cannot have Valorant on my computer while I
Yeah.
work from home.
See, it doesn't bother me because I have nothing to hide. My only issue is that it's on my computer and running all the time, and apparently it's not working. Because I've run into so many cheaters in the last like week, and even just recently, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but two of like I don't want to say most notable, but two like really notable pros in the Valorant scene got caught for cheating in like several tournaments over the last few months.
I
So
didn't
like,
see that. I did see that a
yeah,
couple of big guys, I like got the general gist that a couple of big guys are getting caught for
yeah.
cheating, but
And it
you know,
wasn't like they didn't notice it through the anti-cheat. They had to get manually banned. So like one of the devs looked into their gameplay and like saw that they were cheating and then turns out they were. So like the system is running all the time and they're not even like finding cheaters. So hopefully they tweak it. I mean the game is still new. It gets a lot of flack for ranked systems and things like that, but I'm sure over the next like couple of years the game will be developed and be good.
I mean, are you okay with that answer though? Like, are you okay with in the next couple of years? I mean, personally, I'm a little sick of games coming out way, 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 way before they're ready to come out.
Well, that's
Um,
the thing is the bar is like so high. Like if you take away any like preconceived expectations for what Valorant should be,
right.
the game is incredible. Like
Yeah, definitely.
comparatively to all other games, the only issue is that I think it was released a little bit too early in terms of maps. Like maps, there's only 4 maps, which if you play a lot, it gets super repetitive.
Yeah.
And from a viewer perspective, it gets super repetitive. As well as like the rank system, I think their like ranked developer, like the lead of their ranked team left. So there's some flaws with ranked right now. But like with that aside, I grew up, or I didn't grow up, but I played League for like 8 years. So I saw League from the very beginning to like what it is now. Obviously, one of the biggest esports of all time. Probably top three most players in the player base of all time. So like
I mean,
Riot
it's
knows what they're
totally
doing.
noticeable when they have a
Yeah,
tournament. There's like 600,000 people watching
exactly.
League.
So Riot knows how to develop a game from a grassroots scene to like a huge esport.
Yeah.
So I'm patient and like I say, with all expectations out the window, like at its core, Valorant is a super good game. I just think they need to make a few tweaks to it.
Yeah, I think some of the stuff in Valorant for me is a little repetitive. I mean, quite a bit of it is a little repetitive, but I think I grew up playing CS:GO, and I went through a phase where I thought I was going to be a professional CS:GO player, or whatever,
Hmm.
and then I sort of got over that to pursue more, worldly things, I guess, and come back to Valorant, and it just feels so familiar. It feels exactly the same almost, but I feel like just a cleaner version.
It's a more entry level CS:GO. It's way easier to jump into for someone who's never played CS:GO.
Oh yeah, CS:GO like ranked is
Yeah,
insane. Like even at
yeah.
the lower levels, they're just
Not even like the aiming aspect, but like the game knowledge and like how CS:GO mechanics work.
yeah.
It's way higher skill cap in my opinion.
Do you find the skill gap on Valorant is getting higher now? I mean, is that something considering I would be at the lower end, you would be at the higher end?
It's hard to say yes and no. It will be more apparent once we have like international tournaments
Right.
because there's teams in Europe that are doing things like way different than NA is doing. So I think it's still too early to say the skill gap is like massive. Um, but I mean, just a difference in like solo queue to team play, that kind of skill gap is definitely huge because it's meant to be a team game. But when you play solo queue, it's hard to like coordinate as a team, you know?
Yeah, totally. I mean, every single time you get into a team, it's like, I mean, instead of relying on your team, you're relying on each individual being good enough
Yeah,
to carry, you know?
exactly.
And if, let's say, you're on a mid level team and all the players are like me, except for you, and you're on one of those teams, obviously, my team's a goner, you know? So
Yeah, that's why I play
it only
Jet
takes one.
because
Why?
I could just solo carry and ranked.
Oh,
Because like people don't play in solo queue the way they would in a team, you know? Like they're not coordinating like ult
no,
abilities
they're
and
just trying
like
to kill
slows and shit.
everybody.
Yeah, it's way different.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, do you think it'll get to the same kind of level as Fortnite did, where they'll have like $1 million championships, World Series? I mean, League certainly does have massive competitions. Same with CS:GO still does have massive competitions.
It's hard to say because a lot of that, a lot of like a specific esports value is derived from viewership, right?
Yeah,
Like people pay for eyes. So I think they have to do a lot. Like you said, it's a beautiful game in terms of its design, but I think they have to do a lot in terms of breaking the like repetitive aspect of it. Because I'm sure you've seen on Twitter, especially from like my community and like similar communities, lofts, things like that. A lot of people don't like watching it because of how repetitive it is,
yeah.
regardless of how
Well,
like
and hard to
beautiful
commentate
the
as
game
well, I
is.
think. I was talking to Loff about this the other day. I mean, it's when you get into a match that's completely one-sided, that's 12 games of nothing to talk about, really. Like he was talking about when TSM went up against one of the teams, and it was literally 12 nothing. And he said, honestly, we can say good shot, great shot, that was fantastic. These guys are obviously incredible. But if you say that 5 times in a row, which is how many people are on a team, you can't say that 5 times 12.
See, that will change. Like, I'm not worried about the commentating aspect because that will change as like more and more teams get developed and like
Yeah,
people are being invited of the same caliber. Because things like that, where teams are being invited and just getting blown out, is just because like it's hard to know who's good and like who can play against TSM, things like that. Because there's not that much
totally.
history. The game's still not so new.
Yeah,
I just mean in terms of like you were saying, four maps is repetitive. A lot of the same agents are being played because there's not that many agents. So as the game gets more and more developed, I think it will be more entertaining to watch.
yeah.
But I think Riot has to do something in terms of you know, making it more enjoyable to stream and to watch and things like that if they want to see it evolve.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same as Overwatch, and people sort of forget that Valorant has a twinge of Overwatch in it.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit of sprinkle in there. And my brother is a professional Overwatch player, and
Yeah.
watching him play is an entirely different story. And I played Overwatch myself, and I kind of knew what was going on. It was easy to get a basic knowledge of what Overwatch is. But you see him in a tournament with 5 other dudes that are top tier. in the world, not just in Australia or NA or whatever. Um, and the commentary is like top tier as well. I mean, it's a whole different ball game, and I think Valorant as a whole just isn't to that level yet. And when it is there, I think it'll be a lot more enjoyable for people to watch. For
That's the thing.
you know,
They're building it for the future. Like
yeah, and it seems very
Overwatch,
much like they care about it.
yeah, absolutely. Overwatch is like I respect the resources that they put into it, but I think they did it the wrong way in terms of jumping like straight into franchising. I
Yeah,
think the way Riot is doing it in terms of like building a grassroots scene first is way, way more beneficial. Like they're playing the long game. They're doing the same thing they did with League. So that's why I say like right now it might be boring to watch for some people. Obviously it's fun to play in my opinion, but
yeah.
as the game evolves, it will be way, way more enjoyable.
I think they had the best marketing, opening
Yeah.
of a beta I've ever seen ever. People can knock it all they want, like the way they did it, but that puts so many eyes on the game consistently. Exploded streamers to absolute astronomical levels. Like
The
just
crazy part is they didn't even pay like half of the
they didn't
people
pay.
that were playing it.
Yeah,
That's how you know it's a good game. It's just like needs a little more time to grow, you know?
yeah, and the people knew the people, especially bigger people. They knew that if they were to play this game for 8 hours a day to 200, 300,000 people, that all they're gonna do is click a button. They make more than they could if they were paid to play the game.
Yeah.
And friends of mine who used to stream to 150 people are now streaming to 1,500 people, and now they consistently have jumped up by 50 people average. So it did a lot for the community, and I think people don't recognize how good this kind of game is for the community as a whole, streaming, gaming, and hopefully they get the anti-cheat stuff sorted out. Um, and if they do what they say they're going to do and they address some of those issues, I think, it's going to be a pretty good game, all said and done. Do you remember thinking, it's just interesting to me that you say that 4 maps isn't that much, but 10 years ago, if you got 4 maps in a game, you'd be like, 4 maps? That's insane. You know?
Yeah. I just mean in terms of like streaming aside, when you have these tournaments that are running best of fives and
Yeah,
there's only 4 maps, that's where it gets a little weird, you know what I mean?
totally.
Like if the game were to have released with 7 maps, like the game's been in development for 6 years, so I don't think it's asking too much
To have more
for
maps, yeah.
them to have launched with more maps, but at the same time, I also know that they're, like I said, doing a lot in terms of building it for the future. So I don't know.
How long do you think it takes to learn like everything on a map? I mean, because personally, I'm not that much of an extreme gamer, right? And
Yeah,
I'm a good aimer, I'm a good gamer, and then there's a whole breakthrough level where you learn shooting patterns and you learn angles and you learn positions around an entire map, and that your basic knowledge all the way to exact knowledge of that is what turns you into a professional gamer. How high is that skill gap, and how hard is it to learn a map?
like I said, it's multifaceted because, like I said, it's very entry level. It's like an entry level CS. Like it's very easy to learn a map at its core. Like it's very, very laid out pretty easily to like digest. But then once you account for like team strategy and things like that, the skill cap is endless. Like the meta is still evolving. When the game first came out, people would only play Sage and Cypher, right?
Yeah,
Like if you had those 2 characters and like Brimstone, like you were set. Like Omen was trash, shit like that. Now Omen's like an S tier agent just because people are realizing that the op is super strong.
right.
So like they want more smokes and a flash. So like I said, the map at its core is like pretty easy to understand, but as the game evolves, like the cap for mastering the map is endless in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, not only do you have to master all the angles of the map and know where everybody could or
Yeah.
more than likely would be, you've got to master every single now. I mean, in CS:GO, it's basically this person will be there or they'll be somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in
Yeah.
this game, they'll be here, but if it's this character, they'll do this. If it's this character, they'll do this.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
the possibilities are just insane, right?
Yeah, it's not map knowledge, it's game knowledge. Because as they add more agents, like you're gonna have to learn different, like how the agents interact with the map.
Yeah, which is that Overwatch style, that Overwatch sparkle on it because,
Yeah, yeah.
those guys, their meta has been goats for quite some time. But, um,
That's why I stopped playing Overwatch.
yeah, I think that's why my brother-in-law stopped playing as well. It's just,
Yeah, that's why a lot of
it was
people
like kind
stopped.
of sick of it.
Yep, it's the
Um,
same thing.
it's always interesting to me when I play Fortnite with somebody like you or Jonah or even B Dot, somebody, Loft, somebody like that, the natural resting difference in our gameplay. I'm in here playing Fortnite, having fun. I'm like, oh, I got 4 kills, and you're like, yeah, cool. How many kills you got, Gar? Oh, I don't know, whatever. How many kills you got, Gar? I got 12. How do you have 12? We're just screwing around.
It's just the sheer amount of time, I think.
I think so, and until matchmaking went in Fortnite, I mean, it was just so much fun to jump into a match with you. We could do really stupid shit, double snipe people, and um, I think that's one of the reasons why I struggle to get pulled into the Valorant grind because I can see that that's
It's definitely not a casual game.
definitely not a casual game.
Yeah.
As much as I like it and it's fun, I think it's not Fortnite fun, and that's the thing that sets Fortnite above all other games for me. And I think for a lot of people is that it can just be fun, without.
Well, the reason for that is RNG. Like, RNG is this for the same reason that RNG makes Fortnite like interesting to watch,
Yeah,
but not competitive at all. It makes Valorant not fun to watch, but insanely fun to play if you're a competitor, right?
yeah,
So like I can't like just yesterday I hopped on to Fortnite to play the DreamHack tournament just for like shits and giggles, right?
right.
I couldn't even make it 4 games just because of how RNG it was, you know? Like I would just die because someone would get a shotgun and I didn't.
Yeah,
Like after a while of playing that for like 2 years, it's just like, all right, man, this isn't competitive, you know? And if I'm competitive by nature, it's like Valorant is my game, you know?
yeah, and I think Fortnite's very much like that. It's like the first 70 people are pure RNG, and then the last 30 people are actually fighting.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I really like watching professional Fortnite because everybody drops down. They all kind of inadvertently post where they're gonna land, and everyone's kind of like, all right, they kind of know where everybody is.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll leave them alone, we'll all fight, or I'm gonna push this guy because I hate that guy, which is always interesting. Like Nick Merckx and, like you said, Aiden always dropping tilted together. And it wasn't really until Aiden literally kicked the shit out of Nick Merckx that everyone was like, oh my god, Aiden's insane. And then they let Daquan in a couple of tournaments, and he just comes in and he's like, I'm just gonna kill everybody. Like, I don't really care. Go and play the game the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Do you ever think you'll go back to Fortnite?
Probably not, no. Actually, definitely not, no.
I like that.
It's not competitive.
Yeah.
Like I knew that for a long time, but I just kept playing because at the time, like I was good enough to compete and like make a decent amount of money, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But now that I don't rely on like earnings, I guess, for income, like there's no reason for me to play Fortnite.
Yeah. And
It's
you
not
know,
competitive at all.
you know what? They tried to slap competitive on top of it. You know, and I think
The
that's one
battle
of the
royales inherently are just too RNG to be competitive, and Fortnite
totally.
is like even more RNG than a normal BR, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they put this matchmaking on top of it, and it's sort of it's made it implayable for people who just want to play casually, and implayable for people who want to play. There's
Yeah,
too much RNG for to be like hardcore, and it's
yeah.
too little RNG for it to be fun anymore.
Yeah, even like Cypher, who has been a diehard like Fortnite content creator, just tweeted about how he's gonna be playing Warzone until the next season comes out or whatever.
Yeah, Cypher is making some interesting videos, and I think when I first started watching him, he was a little difficult for me to watch because I'm a bit older than he is, and some of the things he said seemed a little bit great content creator, incredible content creator, but he's growing up, man, and now he's just applying this incredible knowledge of the game, with a bit more of a mature understanding of the way things work. He's just coming out with incredible content.
Yeah, he pumps out content. That guy's work ethic is insane.
Yeah, I think him and Nick A30, same thing, right? Like they both are insane. You know, like with the content. Nick A30 streams twice a day and releases a video every day, I think. Um,
Yeah.
how much?
I don't know. I don't know how you could play Fortnite for that long. I mean, clearly you can't because I think it speaks volumes when probably one of your biggest content creators, Cypher, who streams Fortnite and has streamed Fortnite for like 8+ hours like every single day,
Yeah,
is quitting Fortnite in the interim to go play Warzone, which is like filled with hackers inherently.
yeah.
Like that should speak volumes, in my opinion, to the
You
Fortnite
played
developers.
Warzone, right? Like, is it actually that much worse?
Oh, I loved it when it first came out, and then that game has skill based also. So like in the early stages, after like getting a lot of kills at every game, you start getting matched with hackers because of the skill base. But then they fixed it, but I had already stopped at that point, and now it's been like 2 months, like it was fine, and now apparently hackers are coming back from what I've seen. So I don't know, man. Hackers just ruin every game.
What do you think people hack games? Like, what do you think the okay, all right. I can understand it from one perspective. I can understand it being fun for a game. Okay, and I can understand somebody saying, "Here, try playing Warzone now," and you just like move your mouse around, and you just kill everybody, and you're just like, ha 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 ha. But I don't think kids are doing this. I don't think it's kids
I don't think it's kids
able.
either.
You
I
know,
think it's people who just get shit on and don't want to get shit on anymore.
yeah. You think that's what it is? That's the big takeaway from it.
I don't know why else you would cheat. Like, I don't see the draw to it because if you enjoy playing games for the competitive aspect, like it takes away all of that. Like, you just win. That's not fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you're a competitive person, there's always a drive to get better and improve. So, like, if you take that away, like, what's the point of even playing if it's not just because you suck? You know? I don't know.
I think playing a game in general just should be fun. And I guess if they're not having fun and cheating is fun for them to win.
I just, I don't know. I guess it's just a different kind of person. I don't see how cheating could ever be fun, even as like for one game.
Yeah. I can,
Like,
I
I
can see
guess,
trying it, but,
yeah, I don't know. I don't get
um,
it.
I mean, your aim is already like an aimbot anyway. So I think that's the
Not even.
difference. You have to
Nah, nah,
understand
nah,
it from
nah.
somebody who's got potato aim, you know?
Nah.
No, you do. You have to understand it from somebody who's like, there's somebody over there. You're like, head, 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 head. I'm like, where's that guy? Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, but like you said, maybe for a game,
Yeah.
but it's just, it's over and over and over and over.
Yeah, and I just don't understand the draw to it, man. Like,
I mean, I guess like I saw a video of Tim the Tatman getting sniped repeatedly from someone in a helicopter. And I guess if you're a cheater, like getting that kind of recognition, like Tim reacting to you cheating against him, I guess is could get a rise out of somebody.
yeah.
So I get that, maybe.
But you can
But
never
if you're
say
someone that's
that
just
was me
cheating and
cheating.
yeah, but I guess, but if you're someone that's cheating in like normal lobbies, like not against this, like I don't get that, bro.
I,
Weird to me.
I think the best kind of advertisement, free advertisement, would be somebody to call you out for cheating and you be able to prove that you weren't. You know?
Happens to a lot of people. Symphony is like that's notorious.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Symphony will do this shit where he'll like shoot someone and then whip his mouse so it looks like he has aimbot on, and then people will just like clip it and be like, "See, he's cheating." Like
Yeah.
he just does it on purpose to get a rise out of people. It's funny.
He's constantly doing stuff like that, and he'll shoot people through walls
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. Just
because he knows they're there. He'll be like, "Check this
yeah,
out, go 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 go. See,
yeah.
dead, go 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 dead." Yeah. All right. Speaking of cheating, I'm cheating you out of time. Not really. It's been awesome to talk to you, man. I don't want to,
That was good.
I don't want to take you too much of your day and let you get on with it. And so you're on a different time zone for me now, right? You're
Yeah, I'm an hour ahead
1:19.
Mountain Time. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
1:19. Yep.
That's good, man. It's working out. And thank you for being my guinea pig, I would say, for the offline stream. It
Of course,
actually,
man.
it's just felt so much more comfortable for me. And I think, don't get me wrong, I love chat involvement, and I know you do too. And I love the just chatting streams. I just feel like once we get rolling with a conversation like this, it's just so much easier to catch up as friends and have an organic conversation, even if it is somewhat guided, you know?
Oh, for sure. It was just like Just like when we got coffee in LA. It's just a conversation.
Oh man, I miss it. I want that coffee so bad. What is it, Phil's?
Yeah, Phil's coffee. It's pretty
Oh,
good.
so good. It's so funny
Yeah.
that you made us there because that's where Beat. That's exactly where Beat us took us when we went to LA and
That same location, right?
same
Same spot.
location.
Yeah.
And they had those donuts and JL and I had been keto for stupid amount of time at that point. I think 6 months. So we hadn't had any kind of bread or anything. Those donuts, oh, I had like 8 of them, I think. Yeah, they really
Hit
did.
different.
Yeah. So on that note, my dude, enjoy your coffee and enjoy the rest of your
Thank
day.
you. Appreciate it.
Great
Thank you
to
for the
see
talk.
you. Yeah, for
You as
sure,
well.
man. Let's do it again soon.
Hell yeah, definitely down.
All right, see you, mate.
Peace out, brother.